Now, if you're an MMA fan, you've likely heard of Dillon Danis. Why though? With a professional record of a whopping 2 fights with no losses, how does every hardcore and most casual MMA fans know the guy? And more importantly, why does almost everyone collectively hate the guy? No, seriously, go on Twitter or even in the comments of this video and you'll see just how much people hate this guy. Let's see exactly why nearly every MMA fan hates Dillon Danis. Before you watch this video, let me know in the comments just how you feel about the guy and why you like or don't like him. I'm reading every comment and responding within exactly 7 minutes. Or you can unsubscribe if I don't. Well, MMA fans are the primary group that know and don't like Danis, so let's first start by examining his MMA career and let's see if that could have anything to do with the public's perception on Danis. So, how did Dillon even get into MMA? Well, here's a little backstory. Danis started wrestling in high school at age 15, despite allegedly not being able to do a single push-up. He then got into a fight. I'm gonna assume he lost that fight because in light of that fight, he started doing jiu-jitsu. He continued jiu-jitsu until about age 17, where then he would make trips to Marcelo Garcia's Jiu-Jitsu Academy until age 19, where Danis moved to New York to pursue jiu-jitsu full-time. This seems pretty normal, right? A generic backstory to a likable figure in the MMA world, right? Let's continue. Danis was actually very respected around this time in the jiu-jitsu world, winning various prestigious awards, most notably winning a gold medal in the brown belt division in the IBJJF World Jiu-Jitsu Championships. This guy was a great grappler and was awarded a black belt at age 19 after the aforementioned gold medal he won. So, how did he get involved in the MMA community? Well, around the same time, Conor McGregor just got submitted by Nate Diaz in their monumental fight, so for the rematch, Conor felt he needed a different jiu-jitsu coach. In comes Dillon Danis. Now, this is where it gets interesting. We all know Conor McGregor. Slapping old men, blatant disregard for authority, champ, all of the above. Well, this is who introduces Danis to the MMA world. Well, who better to introduce you to MMA than the most popular MMA fighter of all time? This is a good thing, right? It depends on how you look at it. Danis was always around McGregor from this point on, as a coach, a cornerman, and a friend. So that means he spent a lot of time with the guy. Conor was known for trash talk. He was known for being willing to do crazy stuff for attention. He was known for making a scene, and Dillon witnessed all of this firsthand.
This guy. Conor, do you know what wrestling is?
I could rest my balls on your forehead.
Yeah, I know.
Guy looks like a orange cotton candy. You look like a 50-year-old retired skateboarder. A little fat old man you look like.
He has been medically cleared to fight. Doctors have looked at him, examined him. He went and saw a gynecologist, and it turns out it was just a little period. He has been cleared to fight, and he is not something else.
Dillon was close with Conor and witnessed all of his antics while McGregor was at the peak of the sport. As for Dillon's MMA career, he joined Bellator, and on April 28, 2018, Dillon Danis made his MMA debut against Kyle, his name doesn't matter, and he won via toe hold in round 1. Then on June 19, 2019, Dillon would beat Max Humphrey via an armbar in the first round. After that, no, that's it. That's his entire MMA career. That's where the issues begin. Dillon makes crazy claims like he's the best grappler in MMA and a bunch of other unfounded nonsense. Which, normally top fighters make statements like that. Even Conor, the person Danis watched, did such. The difference is, Danis literally only has 2 wins in the octagon. Not only does Danis only have 2 wins, but he beat complete nobodies. I'm not even sure the people he beat have Wikipedia pages. Danis has actually been involved with more controversies than he has in actual MMA fights. Let's talk about them, because maybe looking into these will help us better understand why people just can't stand the guy. On October 6, 2018, an intense rivalry met its boiling point when Khabib submitted Conor McGregor in the 4th round. Dillon, who was in Conor's corner, was provoking Khabib by talking trash. Khabib would throw his mouthpiece at his corner and then soar over the cage, living up to his Eagle moniker. An all-out brawl would ensue, and this became even bigger news the next day than the fight itself.
Okay, when I catch his neck and I choke him, like he tap, you know, like how you can tap? Go sleep, like, and he tap, and I was like, okay, it's not enough. I need something. And I see like some his corners like talk with me, like
he turns around, takes out his mouthpiece and throws it right into the direction of Conor's camp.
По происшествию, когда он выпрыгнул, я помню, я закрыл глаза.
And I think, oh, I have to bite his heart, you know.
Damn, here it goes, the ego.
Dillon was fined $7,500 and banned for 7 months from the UFC. Then on September 18, 2021, Danis was arrested in New Jersey after getting beat up by a bouncer.
He's like, I'm good, let me go.
Dillon says that the bouncers and the bartenders started the altercation, but I don't think anyone believes that. In October of 2021, Danis would accuse Jake Shields, longtime veteran of the sport, of offering him PEDs before Danis would compete in the ADCC Submission Fighting World Championships. On November 6, 2021, Danis was escorted out of UFC 268 after getting into an altercation with Ali Abdelaziz slapping him. And finally, the worst out of all of them, the Misfits incident. Danis would show up to the Misfit press conference. Yes, the Misfits ran by KSI. And he would face off with KSI during the press conference before striking him and throwing coffee in his face.
Dillon, hey, good. How you doing? I'm looking small in person, bro. I'm excited. Yeah, no, I'm excited. You guys signed the contract or no? Just stop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna choke you out right here.
No, you don't need to.
No, yeah.
But I can knock you out if I want.
Yeah, do it right now.
What, right now?
Let's not do that right now.
A little slap.
Yeah, no more.
Let's do it. Go, big bro. Get off the building. On the building.
Why is this the worst out of them all? We'll get to that soon, but do you see a trend here? I've just listed 5 controversies Dillon was a part of, and that's 3 more controversies than he has fights. So for this guy to run his mouth and flaunt himself like he's some huge proven fighter is ridiculous and rubs fans the wrong way. Now let's get into the whole KSI situation. Danis was scheduled to face KSI on January 4th, 2023. As we all know, the fight didn't happen. Danis didn't show up to the press conference for the fight, but shortly after skipping the press conference, he appeared on Ariel Helwani's podcast. He would assure Ariel that he was going to show up to the fight after Ariel expressed his doubt about Danis turning up. This was a very entertaining interview, but the biggest thing that we took away from this podcast is that Danis assured us he was going to turn up. And of course, he didn't show up, and this just irritated everyone. Not the good kind of irritated either. We all know any publicity is good publicity, but not in this instance. People are pretty much over Danis and his antics at this point. He hasn't fought in years, and all he does is run his mouth and get involved in controversies. It's to the point where I was debating between titling the video Why Fans Are Completely Over Dillon Danis, or the title you see now, Hate Just Has a Better Ring to It, I guess. Danis hasn't competed in 3 years, and all he does is stir the pot and disappoint fans who want to see him fight. Him pulling out of the KSI boxing match was the straw that broke the camel's back for MMA fans. Fans love a guy who talks and backs it up, but here's the thing, he hasn't fought since 2019. But still runs his mouth like he's some top dog while only winning 2 fights. Why does Danis do this? Why does he talk like this? Why does he cause all of these controversies? To understand this, we need to look at the man who brought him into the MMA world.
Developing tonight at 11, it's the mugshot from South Florida, now getting attention around the world. Mixed martial arts fighter Conor McGregor arrested.
And here is the scene at the jail about 45 minutes ago. McGregor posting bond and walking out. He is a free man for now.
Anything to say about that?
Conor looking so settled already. And that's that capoeira style of striking that he's been using, and he's mixing everything up so nicely.
11 knockouts, and he almost did it again. Right at the top, looking to finish it here. This is why everyone's been talking about Conor. It's all over. Wow.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Dana, 60 G's, baby!
It was Conor who showed him the keys to success. Danis was in Conor's corner, watching him succeed, watching him make millions, watching him be at the top of the UFC, but most importantly, watching his actions. Conor is far from insane and isn't a stranger to starting fights, controversies, trash talk. He had the keys to success. It seemed as if Dillon picked up on that. Dillon seemingly adopted that behavior, effectively mirroring Conor's actions. Now, I'm not saying Conor is to blame for the way Dillon acts. Of course not. He's a grown man, and he actively chooses the way he acts. I am saying that Dillon noted Conor's success and what he did to obtain it, and he took what he saw Conor do and applied it. But there's something Dillon forgot to implement that made Conor's rise to success so effective. You see, Danis mimicked the trash talk, the antics, the controversies Conor utilized to become so famous, but he forgot the most important part, the actual fighting part. Conor made a career of mentally destroying his opponents and then butchering them in the octagon. Danis has only 2 fights in the MMA world. He's kind of like that one kid at school who brags about what he could do all the time. Like, yeah, bro, I would have knocked him out if he kept talking. Yeah, okay, Brandon, I'll see you in government. Danis talks like a guy who's accomplished a lot, and yes, in the jiu-jitsu world, he has. But once again, 2 fights in MMA, you know?
But this has got to be, I mean, to be in the midst of constant hate all the time.
Without me in MMA, what's exciting?
Stop
You know,
it.
like, I don't know.
This is, see, I can get behind some of the stuff, and then you say ridiculous crap like this. What are you talking about?
Be honest. Be honest.
What?
What else is more entertaining?
You ask me right now the names of the 2 guys that you fought, I have no idea. If they walked into my house and asked me to fix my garage, I'd be like, yeah, sure. You could come right here. I don't know who these people are.
I mean, after you fight me, what happens? That's what they do, actually.
Who are they? Do you even know the names of the guys you fought? Do you even know the names? Come on.
I probably don't, to be honest.
Conor introducing him into MMA gave him publicity and made him a known name in the MMA community. But the abundance of talk and the lack of action have just made fans tired of him. What do you guys think? How do you feel about Dillon? Let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe. As always, I'll see you in the next one.